me do my two-step.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Next Shot. This is Roger with Unlimited Photography.
Hey, and this is Luke with Luke's Lens.
All right, Luke. So it is episode 26. So how do you feel about 26 episodes under our belt?
I feel like we should have 260. But we'll get there.
Okay, so we'll set that as a goal for next year, is to hit 260 before the end of 2023. Speaking of which, 2022 is coming to an end. How would you like to end your 2022 legitimately? I know how we'd all like to end it, being millionaires and hitting this Powerball and all that good stuff. But how would you like to end it, I guess, from a photography/videography perspective, and a business owner which you're trying to grow? So tell me how you would like to end your year.
Yeah, just to get back on track and more focused, and start heading back in the right direction.
Yeah. So do you think you've lost a little bit of focus in, I guess, the past 6 months or so?
No, definitely. It's without a doubt.
Yeah, and I'm in the same boat, so I can't bash you too much because I get it. Life happens, and we're getting through it, and going into the holidays. Sometimes it's I'm gonna say an emotional part of the year where you start thinking about spending more time with family. You may do a little bit of traveling because I know you have family out of state. So what would you want to do in November, December that would help grow your business and get you back on track?
Probably work on some marketing, some branding, some focused ads potentially, just to kind of prepare the beginning of next year.
Yeah. So build up your, I guess, like your merchandise and some of the things that you want to do to help grow and it's the enigmatic business that you're referring to, right? Enigmatic.
Well, and Luke's Lens, yeah.
Yeah, all of it, right?
All of it. Next shot.
Anything that's going to help generate a little bit of knowledge sharing and awareness, I guess, for your brand would be good. So, I think on our last episode, you had discussed about working with a brand. Have you ever thought about considering yourself as a brand and making a commercial for yourself and maybe doing a few things that would help grow your business that way?
I have. The hesitation is I am not a videographer, as we all know. But at some point, you just need to get down and do it, or come up and see you and have you do it.
Yes, I would be glad to help you out with that. I would say a good day of filming would probably get you enough content to use for YouTube Shorts and Instagram and things that would help grow your business. So yeah, let's make a plan to get together either before the end of the year, or at least have some ideas in mind where we can record you some clips to get you set on the right track. How you feel
Definitely.
about that?
I'm
Good.
1,000% in.
Yeah, I'm the same way, you are. Is our brand, we're growing the Unlimited Photography business. Right now, we have booked a November wedding, and we've also booked a January wedding, and we're also trying to book another, I guess, a wedding adventure for next year as well. I know a lot of the photographers that I follow on Facebook, they're booking for 2024 now, but they're full-time photographers that are doing more weddings than most people. So,
Hmm.
kudos to those people that are really driving their business and spending more time marketing and showing their work on Facebook. So I think that's something that we need to do as a company as well going into next year is spend more time focused while we're at the wedding about trying to get more marketing material. We just started getting in with the drone stuff with Brandon. His company's collaborating with ours to do a few of the weddings, which is really good. It takes a lot of the pressure off, so you don't have
Yeah.
to really worry about everything yourself, but yet you share that wealth and you share that knowledge to help both businesses grow. So maybe that's something you need to consider as well. Uh, is finding someone local to Georgia that you can collaborate with and help grow maybe the video side of your business. Even though I
Yeah.
can't be there, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind you reaching out to somebody that's gonna benefit both companies. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 100%.
So how would you take that first step? How would you say, hey, would you reach out to a local company or would you throw something on Facebook? How would you want to do that?
Potentially Facebook first. Um,
Yeah.
maybe just find a contact in a group.
Yeah. And just putting a few things on Facebook the past couple of days where we reached out to try to find uh, a photographer or a couple of photographers in the area to try to submit some images. We actually found one that we're going to go over in our slideshow today that submitted a few images and could potentially be a guest on the show. So, Luke, what would you say that our show needs to focus on maybe next year that we have not covered in the past that may help benefit some of our viewers?
How about let's try getting somebody who maybe just bought a camera, someone who's trying to get into photography, just come on the show with some of their pictures and just kind of guide them through some situations that maybe they were stuck on or maybe they need help with. Just kind of expand their network of photographers, expand ours.
Right. Okay, I mean that's a great idea because what we could do is we'll put a call out on Facebook and social media with anybody that let's say gets a camera for Christmas. That would be a good opportunity, the first week after Christmas to say, hey, let us know what camera you got. If you're just getting into photography or you're a student, is it, something you want to pursue as a career? And maybe we can go through some of the trial and errors that we've had when we first got our camera that can help grow their career. Not necessarily into a business at first, but again, as a hobby. It could be a passion of theirs, and it could range from I started when I was 14 when I got my first film camera. If that tells you how old I am, I mean, up to people that are in their 50s, 60s that are just getting into digital because they've shot film their whole life. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we can maybe can turn that into a couple episodes and have them back as a guest as they advance. So that's a great idea. So what else would you consider um, a show topic maybe that we need to cover that you think um, going into beginning of next year that should help our viewers as well?
Well, maybe you know how there's a International Photo Day where there's a everyone goes out and shoots a photo for the day. What if we just did a small group like that um, amongst ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea, and there will be plenty of time for content, behind the scenes stuff. We can do some interviews with some of the people while we're there. So we make and set a month that we do this every year and make it kind of like a tradition, I guess, where we
Yeah.
invite everybody to a certain location, like an open call, but, restrict the number of people that we get so that it's a controllable crowd. But yeah, that's a good idea too, Luke. I didn't think about that, but um, just being creative like that, I think is going to help the show grow. And guys and gals out there, that are watching this episode, again, this is episode 26, which we're totally stoked about. Uh, Leave us some comments down below, some ideas that you think would help benefit your photography or your videography going forward, or topics that you want us to discuss. And I think, Luke, can make that happen, right?
100%. That's what we're here
Very
for.
Yeah, and I think that's going to help get the word out for the next shot, which is, you know, kind of what we want you guys to do. We want to help spread the word to get subscribers. Now, Luke, again, we talked about this in previous episodes. We're not here to make $1 billion, only $1 million, right?
Each.
Yeah, each. But you know, the whole point about the show when I first approached Luke was, you know, we talk about photography all the time, and why not just record it? You know, why not just have fun with it and then have guests on and you know, review some of the pictures that we've taken, because honestly, the world would have never seen some of these pictures that we took. Luke, would you agree?
100%.
But
There's
now,
probably so many more that are in our files that will never see the light of day.
this is true, unless we have an episode about it. So again, you know, I know photographers that take pictures all the time. I see them at sports events, or I see them at a concert. You know, like Max said, he takes, you know, pictures really quick. You got to be really fast, but then you also have one shot out of everything that you show people. So you still have tons of images that are just not shared with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that may be something we can do too, is discuss, you know, pulling, you know, 5 images out of your archive that you've never shared with anybody that is YouTube appropriate. Then I would say, you know, let's make an episode out of that. You know, let's see,
let's do
even ourselves, we can do that.
Yeah.
Something that you've never shared on social media, something you've never shared with family, that just, it's a good picture, you know? And maybe you want to edit it, maybe you don't. Even street photography. Look, how many times have you went on vacation, or you've took your camera out, took a picture, and just dumped it into your hard drive and just never touched it?
Endless. It's countless.
Endless times. So I think now would be a good time for us to ease into this slideshow and show you guys a couple things that we've put together. And Luke, let's jump right in.
All right.
Hi, Luke. Here is the slideshow for the Next Shot Photo and Video Show, episode 26. We have a guest photographer that submitted a couple images that we're going to show on our slideshow today, and it is Nate Kettleberry. He is with thisisvisual.net. This is I guess it's like a multi-graphic company. We'll get a little bit more into that here in a minute. But what do you think about these images that he decided to share with us today?
They're awesome. I mean, hey, thank you for sharing. That's the first part. You know what I'm saying? I applaud the people in the photography, because I cannot do a triathlete. I can barely run to the bathroom sometimes.
So Luke, the image on the left, not only is this guy muscular, but he is happy. You know?
He's definitely having fun.
And like you say, you know, we don't know what happened before or after this image was shot, but you know, I want to say, just looking at some of the data that came along with the photo, that this was a Sony A7 III, possibly 35 millimeter 1.4, so you can tell the background's blurred quite a bit. So it's more like a portrait, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, it does tell a story. You know, we don't know the story behind the image. But again, Nate, if you want to be a guest on the show, I reached out today, but I know it's kind of short notice, so maybe in the future we can have him on as a guest, Luke.
Yeah, definitely. He can come back and with some different pictures and talk about them. Really, I mean, again, these are. I'm happy to have the images that we got.
Right. And the one on the right, honestly, it has a little bit of motion in it, and I just realized the guy is barefoot, you know?
Oh,
And the bike, listen, I've never seen a bike like that, and I've never rode a bike like that. So, for one, being in the presence of somebody that possibly does this for a living, I think this is a pretty cool image. It's actually, I kind of like the way the shadows are on the ground too. So what do you think about just like a run and gun type image like this?
it's good. I mean, he caught it. Perfect time. I mean that guy is about to jump on that bike barefoot, and I don't know if you've ever jumped on a bike barefoot, but I know I did as a kid one time, and I never did it again. So
Okay.
he's about to go all in and not look back.
Okay, wait a second. I just noticed something. Nate, I know you know a little bit more about bikes and stuff, but the pedals actually have shoes on them. Okay. Uh, I will try to blow
Which I
this up.
guess makes sense because
Yeah,
it's a triathlon. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly. It probably came from the lake straight to the bike. But yeah, I have to learn more about this type of sport because, again, Luke, you were mentioning that you cannot do a triathlon. I've never participated in one as far as a photographer for that kind of event, but I think Nate did a great job here. Would you agree?
100%. Yes.
So, Luke, Nate actually told me a little bit about these images. He said this is some images from the Lake Norman Sprint. Okay, I've never heard of that event, but he said it's about an hour and a half long, and there's three main times that you can capture content. One of them is like before they start swimming.
Hmm.
And I think this one that we're looking at here on the right is one of the changeovers for the biking, and then they have another one where they change for running. So
Yeah.
there's more pictures that he sent, but these two right here, I think were, one's more of a portrait shot, and one's more of an action shot. But he's telling me that he likes to capture the athletes when they get like kind of like exhausted or uh, as they speed through, or the moments where uh, you change over from bike to running or something like that. So it kind of makes sense for these events. A lot of people can take a basic shot, but if you can't tell a story with the image like Nate did here, I don't know if I would want to do an event that doesn't have a story behind the image, right?
Yeah, right. But let me just say this: if those two guys are exhausted, then I'm definitely got some work to do.
Well, like you said, the portrait on the left may be before the swim. It could have been like after a warm
Yeah.
up or something, but the other guy, and you can't see the exhaustion per se, but you see the action. Maybe this is like a start of the race. I don't know. But again, if you like these images, Nate, I think, has agreed, Luke, to be on our show for one of the future episodes. So he may be on our episode
Awesome.
27. So I'm going to work a little bit closer with him. He is actually, I think his company is out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So very close to home here. I know it's a little further away for you,
Hmm.
but it may be something that we can work with his company and do a little bit more photo submissions or more
Yeah.
branding like we discussed that we want to do next year with our companies and our businesses. So, you never know who you're going to meet. Again, Nate, thanks for the images, and we look forward to having you on the show. And we're going to discuss a little bit more about your website as well. So we're going to give you a plug, www.thisisvisual.net. So check out all the cool things that they're doing there on their website. All right, Luke, you're up next. What's new in Photoshop? This is something that you were discussing with me in the pre-show. So kind of tell everybody out there about these three things that you think will benefit our viewers today.
Yeah, so there's a few new things. One of the big things is the one-click delete and fill. Uh, Photoshop has got to the point that you can just kind of hover over uh, things in your image, and it'll highlight the whole thing. So if you want to get rid of, a person, you hover over it and you highlight it. It turns blue, and you shift delete it, and it's gone. It's out of your image, and a little content aware fill automatically for you. It takes a lot of the hard work out, and it's just anybody can do it now.
So Luke, this is kind of cool. So the clone tool and the brush tool, the lasso tool, it's combining a lot of things that we learned back when we were just learning Photoshop, and even the healing tool. A lot of things that you learned. It's kind of, I guess, it's kind of like when you learn how to take images with a film camera, then you learn how to develop the film. Then you learn how to develop the image onto paper for processing. And then digital came along and the inkjet printer. So I mean, I know the software is advancing to a point to where I'm not going to say anybody can do the things that people that used to get paid $60 to $100 an hour or more got paid to do with an app on their phone. It's scary, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
I mean, it's not 100%, but it is. One click and you're good to go.
yeah.
So it's impressive.
It cuts down on editing time dramatically. All right, tell us about the second feature
Yes.
you like.
So if you're working with a team or you want somebody else's input, it's you upload your image and you can edit and share it, so that way anybody else can jump in and give you comments and work on it. It's impressive that you don't have to send the file back and forth. It's there, and they can just go right into it. A lot of apps are doing this now, and Photoshop is just catching up with it.
Right. I know DaVinci Resolve does a lot of that with video footage too. So we were talking about maybe collaborating together on some promo stuff. So that may actually benefit us as well, working on an image, or if we see something we want to do for the show, we can collaborate that way. And even if we're at work, we can see what each other's doing, right?
Definitely, definitely.
Okay.
And the last
Go ahead.
one is AI photo restoration. You always have an image, that maybe it's bent or there's creases, just some blemishes, some marks on an actual old photograph. Photoshop has AI now where you go into neural filters, click a button, and it edits and adjusts, most of those creases or cracks or, little white marks away. It softens the skin. It does a lot. Again, AI on that is impressive.
So I think we may have a challenge. I was just sitting here thinking, Luke, how can we test the AI photo restoration better than hunting down? Okay, let me just throw something out there. Let's say you visited your local Goodwill or
Okay.
antique shop, um, thrift store, if you will. You find an old photograph that is not completely gone, but yet needs a little restoration. $5, we set a little limit, right? We pick
Hmm.
an image or a photo that we think would deserve a photo restoration, and we do kind of like not a live show, but we do a before and after, or we do a stage scan, or even a little video clip maybe of us taking the original, scanning it in, or taking a picture of it. Really, it's probably all you got to do, and then showing our audience the finished product. What do you think about that?
I'm down for it.
Okay, let's set a challenge. And if anybody out there watching our show would like to participate in this challenge, send us your before picture that you found at a thrift store, or even if it's a family heirloom. Maybe, that's something your family has never seen in the original form because it has all these creases and bends. And stuff that just makes it unrecognizable. And then let's see what AI does for it in Photoshop. So that's good, Luke. So thank you for those 3 tips, and we look forward to seeing our audience submissions for the AI photo restoration. Next, Luke, I want to share with you this cool item that I picked up at Home Goods for $14.99. So, Luke, I know you've had a chance to look over this image. So, how good are you at puzzles, or is it something you don't have the patience for?
I don't necessarily have the patience for it. I do know people who do. I haven't built a puzzle in quite a few years.
Yeah. So, I think this is more like a beginner style puzzle. But what's cool to me, of course, this is a metal tin puzzle holder that is shaped like a
Mhm.
old school. It almost looks like one of my first cameras that I had. An old Canon AE1 program manual metal body film camera, and it caught my attention right away. I probably would have paid a little bit more for this if the wife would have let me. But when I seen the back of it, though, if you look at that picture on the bottom right, this is uh, it's classic cameras and tripods and lighting and filters and dude, I haven't really even looked at everything on there yet to kind of see what the puzzle actually would look like put together. But
Yeah.
as we were talking during the pre-show, is I don't know if I'm gonna even unwrap it. I may just leave it like it is and pass it down generation to generation and make an heirloom out of it. So, have you ever
Yeah.
found anything
What?
like this?
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
like, no, no, no. You're good. Well, what's the size of the actual puzzle?
Uh, you know what?
Does
I
it have a
got it right
size?
here. Let me just see. It may say, and then again, it may not. Yes, it does. It is a 13-inch by 19-inch puzzle once you're done. So,
Hmm.
yes, it would be frameable. It's something that would you can get mounted and framed. Uh, it is made in Canada or designed in Canada, but made in China. Kind of weird.
Hmm.
But it's Eurographics is the company. It says EurographixPuzzles.com. So, Luke, if anybody out there wants to pull up EURO graphics with an S, puzzles.com, maybe they can purchase this offline. I don't know what it would cost. And they may have some other cool designs on there as well. But I just thought that was neat novelty item. So, again, have you ever found anything like this in a store that kind of strikes your fancy with photography or an old camera or something like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even know how I came into having this, but I have a Kodak Brownie.
Okay, yeah.
I keep it in my little cabinet. I don't even know how I got it or why I have it. Like I don't know if I bought it, if it was given to me, if I just walked off with. I have no idea. But I have a brownie that sits in my cabinet for display.
So I'm sure that some of our audience is old enough to remember seeing those, if not reading about them. If they know anything about photography or film cameras, then they know that's very popular uh, camera to find, and it could be worth money one day. Like I say, a lot of it is more novelty than it is, or collectible than
Hmm.
it is valuable. So if it's something that you like and it's something that the kids will pick up and be like, what is this? And it's a little conversation piece, so you can give them a little bit of history, then I think it benefits everybody.
Definitely, definitely.
All right, goals for 2023. So, Luke, we just got done discussing some of the things before the slideshow about your branding and some of the marketing things that you may want to do in 2023. So, let's get back into discussing what you would like to do as far as the show and your photography for 2023. So, what are some of your goals there?
To get off my ass and actually go shoot, which
Yes.
will help build the show, and merchandise and brand the show as well as just going out and actual shooting.
Yeah,
And
and I think go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, we said it before. Just be more consistent. You know.
Yeah, and everybody says it in their videos is consistency will get you watch hours. It'll get you a following of people that constantly look for what you're doing. So, uh, excuse me. My goal, I guess, is similar to yours. Is that we're trying to build a videography business on top of our photography brand. So, with that being said, I have filmed so much stuff in probably the past 2 months. Uh, I have the Ronin SC, so I actually started using the gimbal a little more because that's going to help with the wedding side of the business. I just bought an Osmo Pocket, which is the smaller gimbal, 4K 60, which also does the hyperlapse. It also does time lapse, and it does slow mo video. So I'm playing around with that as well to where I can still get some behind the scenes footage, but I haven't worked up the nerve yet to do more content by myself. It's almost
Hmm.
like I need Luke there, to kind of help with what do I say, what do I do. Those are the
Yeah.
things I have to take that leap because you can't always be here, uh, feeding me content or telling me what I should do. I need that direction, but I need to figure it out uh, in front of the camera. I need to do more individual stuff. So that's my goal is to try to push out a few more shorts and a few more advertisements. Dude, we've got the equipment. You've got a mic, you've got a camera, we've got a show. We got all kind of things working for us and we're not utilizing them to their fullest potential. And I'm sure you agree 100% with that, right?
100%.
And by the way, this show is sponsored by Enigmatic Studios, which is Luke's brand. So, Luke, tell us a little bit more about Enigmatic.
Well, it's. I guess it's t-shirts that I want that nobody else makes. That I'm sure in the 7 billion people on Earth, the 300 million in the United States, I'm sure I can get some people to buy some of it. It's just different, It's not your everyday thing you can see at Walmart. Sometimes they're a little edgy, sometimes they're not. They're just different, random, crazy, odd, weird designs.
So, we're going to work together and we're going to collaborate and we're going to make a killer 15-20 second promo video for to use, even if it's for a short, even if it's for a reel, or even if it's for a commercial for the show. I think that is a good way. You have a good platform to use to promote your business because I've seen some of the work that you did for the shirts and I love it. I love the direction that you're trying to push the company. So I think that's going to help grow you in 2023. But you're a one man show.
Yes.
You're trying to do everything yourself. And now you're actually a content creator, whether you know it or not. You are on a show that helps teach and train or get information out to somebody. So now you have that as part of. I wouldn't call us influencers just yet. We just create content. I don't know if we've
Sir,
influenced
we
anybody yet.
influence each other.
We do, but we need to influence our audience a little more. So bring in a little bit of like, Luke, show us your shirt. Can you show us your shirt there? So that is your symbol, right?
Yes.
So
Wait,
when they
this is
see,
horrible.
they should associate that with your brand, right?
Yes.
So,
Okay.
and I think you have it on your cup. So already you're advertising the next shot in the background. You're advertising your brand. So you're doing the things you should be doing, but now we have to really take it to the next level, right?
Yes.
So that's what I'm trying to say is that with photography, with videography, I think we just got to make that leap of faith. I'm not saying we quit our full-time jobs. I'm not saying that we do that quite yet, but that is our goal. Our goal should be to do something that you love and share it with other people, you know? And hopefully they see that same vision and they see your passion and they see the things that you're doing. And that should be enough to get you off your ass to go shoot, right? Or to promote
Yeah,
your
yeah,
brand. So, so again, that's my goal for 2023 is to get more in front of the camera, do more things independently. That way I can grow as a creator, and we still have this show to share those things with. So, um, if the viewers out there, if you're watching this episode, I know it's more of a rant, I guess, or a goal oriented show, but we did have a couple things in the slideshow that help promote other people. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to show a couple images. Let's discuss those images. Let's make you better, or at least get your brand out there. It's a good platform for anybody to be on right now, right?
yeah.
So, Luke, do you have anything else to add for 2023, the year coming up? Things you want to
Yeah,
do?
let's just get out there and do it. I bought some things last year that I haven't used that I need to test out and try that we can talk about when we get to that point.
Okay.
And it's just about getting up and getting out and doing it, like we talk about that I don't do. We just need to do it.
Hey guys, you heard it first. Hold us accountable. Ask us why have we not went out and shot? Why have we not shared our images or some video clips? Hold us accountable for these things. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Just like everybody says, it's a call to action that we want to put out there for not just us, but for you guys and the subscribers that we do have. The people that follow our shows, and we talk about participation. Participation is not just I'm gonna send a picture and I'm gonna have them discuss it, or if you're embarrassed by your picture or you don't think you're good enough. Listen, I got pictures that I'm not proud of. They're blurry, they're out of focus, or the color's off, and I don't want people looking at those pictures and critiquing them. But until you share it, you won't get better. You can't promote yourself, and that's what we want to do is watch you guys grow. And there's people out there that are taking cell phone pictures that look amazing, and we've talked about this before in past episodes. The apps that you can use, the filters that they have, now the low light that you can get, the images that you can take with some of the iPhones. It's amazing what you can do with a camera phone, right?
Most new phones are built for low light photography.
And most people wouldn't even know how to start in a manual mode on a DSLR
Yeah.
for a nighttime shot.
I'm pretty
But
sure
on
most
an iPhone,
phones now have that where you can
yeah,
shoot manual on your
you
phone.
can do it.
Yeah.
And just trying to learn that, I get it that you can watch a YouTube tutorial for anything, and I mean anything. I've looked up stuff for cars. I've looked up stuff for cameras. You name it. If you just type it in, you got 50 to 1,000 videos that you can choose from that talks about exactly what you're looking for. So, all right, with that, Luke, guess what? We are completing episode 26. What do you think about that?
I'm looking forward to 27.
Okay, 27 is going to be special. I think that's what Luke's saying. He's going to have a lot of stuff to share. We're not holding you accountable for that yet.
That starts
right,
next
guys.
year. Next year.
Next year? Okay. So episode 30 is going to be all you, Luke. You're hosting episode 30. How about that?
I'm gonna take a sick day that day.
Oh, geez. What are we going to do with him? All right. So, yeah, cough now. I see how it is. All right, guys. All the viewers out there, make sure you share this video. Let's get us some likes. Let's get us some subscribers. Let's get some people that are just getting into photography that may just want to jump on and just share their experience. We're always looking for guests on our show, even though we can find guests, but we want people to volunteer and say, hey, I wouldn't mind being on there talking about my camera or my photography or my business. So if you have somebody that you have in mind, share this with them. and let them watch it, and say, hey, these guys look pretty cool. They talk down to earth. They're nothing extravagant. I wouldn't mind being on their show. But yeah, just share it with them, and let's see if we can grow this channel in this photo video show that we call it, into a success, And again, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, this may pick up, and we may be in a different situation, right?
Yeah, we may get you there. You may get us there. Get there together.
It's up to the audience. It's up to the viewers whether we make it or not. We can do great on their show, but it's up to you guys out there watching if you like or share, or whatever it is you want to do. And Luke, like Luke said, just leave a comment, good or bad. We don't mind reading it all, right?
Nah, if you hate us, tell us you hate us. You love us, let us know.
That's it. Also, make sure you check out thenextshot.fm. That is a site that Luke created for the show, it's amazing what talent he has that he does not know or share with anyone. And we look forward to seeing the things that he's going to be doing for next year as well with the brand Enigmatic. I can say it, but it's like a stop at the E. Enigmatic, right? Did I get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to build that brand next year. All right, guys, that's it for episode 26. Until next time, keep shooting.
Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Come on back next time. Today's episode of The Next Shot was brought to you by Enigmatic, where you can find t-shirts, hoodies, cups, stickers, blankets at enigmatic.studio.